Hi Huy! So today we're gonna be talking about sustainable pottery practices. Welcome!
So you said this building is 80 years?
No, it's 90 years old. This building was, it's from 1927, I think.
Yes.
And this is the original floor. They had all the shops in Helsinki used to have mostly these tiles. And usually they are red and white. But I'm lucky that mine is green and white because, I mean, my pottery is red. It would be too strong colors here. So I love my floors. Yeah. That's what I was planning when I started. No, just kidding. No. But one thing I didn't realize that the pottery is 90% cleaning. And I need to wash this floor 3 times a day when I'm working. At the class. We make flower pots in the beginner's class. Because I think flower pots are anyway, they are cute. Even if they're a little bit wonky, but once you plant something in them, they are nice. But this material shrinks around 18%. So usually they are smaller than the student think. Even if I tell them, but it's a big difference when 18% shrink rates. And but in my classes you can use as much there is. I make ready clay balls for everybody, so I do the wedging for them, and then they can use as many balls there is in the class, or as many they have time to use. But then they have to choose 2 works that I will trim and finish for them, and rest will go here, because this clay can be used again and again. But once I fire it to red, then it will be here for next 2000 years. And if you think that all the archaeologues, they always research how people have lived through ceramics and pottery pieces. So we want to leave good pottery pieces after us. And I always ask students to choose something that they want to have for many years, and not only for, like, if something is really funny, in the best memory of it, or if it's like a really crazy sculpture, the best memory of it's just a picture. And if you can use it and it's a functional thing, then it's nice to fire it and because yeah.
So put it back to the makkara machine.
Yeah.
Sausage machine.
But actually, I should leave this to my students because they love this machine. Everybody thinks it's so fun to work with it. But I just have to put it through a couple of times, then it's okay again. Because in the beginner's class, the works are really wonky, and you don't usually make real products in your first time doing pottery. You enjoy pottery? Oh, I forgot. I'm talking. I forget my clay. So, you will enjoy pottery while learning if you take it as a process. If you think that in the first time you will make grand vases or great products, then you will be very disappointed. But it's so much fun to work with the wheel and learn it. So if you come to the pottery class in the mind setting of learning to center yourself and finding your center and finding the peace in pottery making, then this is something for you. But if you think that in the first time you can make grand pots, and then you're gonna be so disappointed. I love doing pottery, but I want people to learn the real skill and the balance on their work. They say that doing pottery is like playing piano, so it takes a long time to master it. So somebody said it's 40,000 hours.
40,000.
Yeah, I used to call my pottery classes no mud, no lotus, because if you don't try, you know, if you're not in the mud, you will never find the flower pot, a beautiful lotus flower. And if it would be too easy, it wouldn't be fun.
Yeah.
And I wasn't any talented. I think my teachers are probably going like, well, she's still doing, because I wasn't at all talented in school in the pottery wheel. But because I've done it for 35 years, now I'm very good.
Yeah. Tell me about that.
So I'm studying audiovisual communication, and the other day we had After Effects. We had to do After Effects, and I just didn't know how to do it. So I just, as everybody else, I googled it, and many people who explained it, I couldn't even get it. But then there was one guy from Hong Kong who was a really good teacher. I could follow him. He's a teacher in the art college. So he was excellent, you know, because people think differently. So he was thinking like I think. So I understood what he said. And other thing I wanted to talk about was the kiln, because I worked in China 15 years ago, and after that, when I came back to Finland, I thought I'm gonna stop making pottery, because I felt that there is overproduction in pottery in the world, and there's no need for potters anymore. But then when I came back to Finland, I realized that the local clay, nobody's doing something, everybody's doing just cheap products from the local clay. And I think the local clay is beautiful and fantastic material, so I wanted to make something that's worth something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I decided to just start using local clay, and also I pay extra for electricity company, that the amount of electricity my studio uses is solar energy. Finland is the biggest contributor of this smoke particles in Nordic countries. So I want to make sustainable pottery, so that's why I use solar energy, or pay extra for solar energy. And I also want to do less, and I want people to appreciate, if they change clay to pottery, that they are changing material to something else. So that's important to me. No, these are fantastic, my yesterday's students' work. They were really well done. They were a very talented bunch. They learn they learn the basics on pottery wheel, but they don't learn trimming. I will do that. Of course, UDUMBARA,
yes,
because that's me who's finishing the work. And then, because I have so many international students, I put Helsinki. I think that's nice. Show in some video later on how I wedge my clay, but I have a spiral here already, because I want the clay particles to go in spiral here too. And I have a mirror in front of me. I always look at the mirror when I do pottery. I can see the form. If you cut the clay like this, the top will never look as beautiful it did originally. And now I don't want to go higher, so I start opening. And this always reminds me of my first pottery, my pottery teacher, Heik. He said you make a trumpet, and then you straighten. I'm making this more round so I don't make trumpets anymore. Thank you for watching our video, and please subscribe, comment and like our videos. We will be making more material about my pottery and Kallio and our neighborhood. Thank you so much.